Good evening, I'm Nate Brunerball with your sports update. In the NHL tonight, the Blue Jackets look to make it back-to-back wins as they play host to the Detroit Red Wings. Kirill Marchenko returns to the lineup after missing the previous 4 games. Puck drops at 7:30. Catch all the action immediately following the Buckeye Show. As the Buckeyes get prepared for the Big Ten title game against Indiana this Saturday, award season has begun. The Walter Camp Football Foundation named Julian Sain a finalist for Player of the Year and Ryan Day a finalist for Coach of the Year. Sain was named Big Ten Freshman of the Year, while Jeremiah Smith claimed Wide Receiver of the Year honors. Smith, Cardinal Tate, and Max Clare all received first-team All-Big Ten honors. In recruiting news, 4-star wide receiver Jaquaden Guilford officially signed with the Buckeyes this afternoon. And into the NFL tonight, Dallas heads to Detroit to take on the Lions. This update brought to us by Germain Toyota, the best selection of new and used cars in Central Ohio. View their full selection of vehicles online at germaintoyota.net. Breaking sports news, what happens to the fan? Ohio Sports Destination.
Bring it up for Ohio State.
You've waited all day for this.
He's standing away. He's going to take it to the house. 85 yards. Down the right side going Devin Smith. Got it at the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown.
The one show that's nothing but the Buckeyes.
Oh, Brad Rucker for the touchdown. Kraft shoots it high on the right for 3.
This is the Buckeye Show.
Off and rolling here on a Thursday. I am Brandon Beam, hanging out with my guy, A-Ward Sports, Austin Ward. Nate is behind the glass. Tonight, A-Ward Sports, happy Thursday to you, my friend. What's happening?
It's a Thursday.
It is. How's your day been? All right?
Let's just say I'm a little stressed out. I'm just glad to be here talking to you for the next hour.
Don't you love when real life comes in the way of Buckeye talk?
No.
I had that happen a couple of weeks ago.
You did.
With, the water line exploding in front of the house. You've had it today with car issues.
Is the water line fixed?
It's fixed.
Okay,
it's
good.
Fixed. It's all good. We got it fixed. My yard's a mess, but you know what? We're going to deal with that in the spring. I don't know if you realize, but it's cold out now, so there's nothing you can do with landscaping.
Yeah.
But there's nothing worse than when real life gets in the way of talking about Ohio State anything. There's just nothing worse when you get a little dose of reality just that punches you right in the nose.
Well, I've been pretty busy with work this week as it was.
You have? It's been a quiet week. What are you talking about?
I know. It seems like it's been real low-key, and the only thing we have to worry about is number 1 versus number 2.
Third time in Big Ten history that's ever happened.
2 unbeatens playing for a silver football on Saturday night. Should be great. I'm really looking forward to being in Indianapolis on Saturday night.
How are you getting there?
If I can get there. Tell Allie, I said, sweetie, I think I'm done with most of my work. I should have some time to help you out because Wednesday night I'm in the Woody. I'm getting a text from her. I'm listening to Ryan Day. There's a lot going on in there. And
you're calling us 20 minutes before that.
I had just got off the phone with you and Jay-Z talking about the Buckeyes, getting ready for more information, getting ready to be able to go talk about that on Snap Judgments. Brian Hartline's there. Where's, what's going on with the wide receivers and Chris Henry Jr. and signing day, and everything is happening at once. And Allie said, we're trying to get home from gymnastics. The car won't start.
That's a bad feeling.
Great. She said, a little while later, I get the update. Somebody gave us a jump. We got home. I said, okay.
All right, well, battery issue.
I'll see you there soon. Let's check out this battery situation. She's like, I got 4 meetings today. I said, yeah, I got a lot going on too, but hopefully I can get it all done. By the afternoon, I'll take your car in, and we'll get a new battery. We'll get everything straightened out. So I jump her car with my car. So no problem. We're going to get this taken care of. I go down the road. It's free battery check, free battery installation, whatever you need. And they said, no, your battery's fine. I said, oh, no.
Oh, that's bad news for us.
That's actually not the news that I wanted to hear because I had a similar issue a year ago with, I don't even know, it's not just a starter. It was like 5 other things that were going wrong. And it wound up costing me about $4,000 to get it fixed. Well, Allie and I have other car, my car a year ago, but we have identical cars. Make, year, model, identical. Maybe that wasn't the best choice. The colors are different, but they're identical in every other way. And I said, I really didn't want you to tell me that. So they have to jump the vehicle again, and I'm taking it straight down the road to the dealership. And so she's on the phone. She's calling. Say, all right. They know you're coming. They know that the vehicle's pulling in. Just take it there and get whatever has to be done, or at least get it there because we're not just going to keep jumping it constantly.
No.
Well, it turns out we couldn't have done that anyway because she went to go start my car so that she could come pick me up from the dealership. And she calls me and she said, Well, now your car won't start. Oh, no. What?
We got 2 dead cars on our hands.
I said, you've got to be kidding me. And I used a lot of other words. She said she was using other words out there in the driveway. No, it won't start. I said, oh, okay, well, what should I do? I leave her car there. Her parents come and pick me up. They take me back to the house. We jump my car. Well, at first I was like, I got to see this for myself. Like, what is happening here? And it's making the same noise that it made a year ago. This can't be right. I paid a lot of money to have this addressed. Mm-hmm. So we jump my car. I charge the battery, and I'm going to knock on as much wood as there's in this studio right now. And I let it go for like an hour. Should I do that? No. I drove around the neighborhood. I picked Liberty up from the bus stop in the car. Like, let's just drive around for a little while, see if we can get some juice in this bad boy. And it was able to get me to the studio. Is it going to get me home, or more specifically to Counterbalance, formerly known as SIP, afterwards, to get me the libations that I need after this absolute week from hell? I sure hope so.
Well, don't worry. I can jump you if you need a jump after the show ends tonight.
I'm tired of jumper cables, man.
Other than that, how was the play, Mrs. Lincoln?
Well, it's been there's a number 1 versus number 2 matchup.
Well, yeah, that's the optimist view, pessimist view, and we'll have negative Birm, maybe positive Birm. I don't know his mood today, but I'm guessing
if I'm down, he must be up.
I don't know. I don't know how.
Actually, I know he's not. So.
I mean, you guys counterbalance each other.
That's true.
He's going to join us at 6:30. Bob,
formerly known as SIP.
Yeah, Carp is going to join us coming up here at 6:17. We'll talk about everything that's going on in the Ohio State world. Why are you so pessimistic today, Austin, other than your car situation?
I mean, I actually feel really good still about the present of Ohio State football. They did finish the regular season undefeated. They beat their biggest rival on Saturday. It was domination in the Big House. I fully expect that when or if I get to Indianapolis tomorrow, we'll have an extra episode of The Beat that we're recording with Television's Adam King with some bold predictions. So we have both a mailbag and bold predictions to get ready for the weekend, because it's a long wait till Saturday night at 8 p.m. So want to provide a little bit of extra content. And I think Ohio State's going to win. And then the reward for that, super pumped. They'd get to go to the Rose Bowl, my favorite place in the world. So everything is coming up Austin. I don't know what negativity could possibly exist around this team. Just everything is awesome, man.
Everything's great. Everything's fine. All right, so we're 1 day now removed of Brian Hartline leaving Ohio State.
That.
Not leaving. He's still here, right? I mean, he's still the offensive coordinator for Ohio State.
Yeah.
And he is technically the acting head coach as well for the University of South Florida, which really isn't in South Florida. It's kind of in Central Florida. It's in Tampa. It's a beautiful campus. I've been there before. My grandma lives in Bradenton. It's awesome. What has been the fallout for him leaving, Austin? Because when we were doing this show last night, we were talking about the impending decisions of some wide receivers. And I don't know if we have news, non-news news, but it is expected that they are going to lose out on another possible commit.
Yeah, so they're trying to get to the finish line with Chris Henry Jr. I don't believe that Ohio State will. I think Birm reported a little bit earlier today, based on his conversations, that Ohio State is expecting him, and he can address that when he jumps on with us at 6:30.
Chris Henry Jr.?
Chris Henry Jr. will, Chris Henry, he's going to make his announcement on this show,
okay,
which is weird. That makes me think he is picking the Buckeyes. No, Birm will be joining us to talk about Chris Henry Jr., who I believe Ohio State anticipates will be signing with Oregon. He's been, we all know, he's a 5-star legacy player, great genetics, I should say, not legacy to Ohio State, but has grown up in the area, is familiar with Ohio State, and been committed for 2 years. But it looks like they will, because of the transition here or some of the uncertainty, plus what would appear to be just enormous bags of cash, will lead to him, which is fine. Do whatever's best for you, to go to Oregon. I think as of this afternoon, Ohio State hadn't got paperwork, but the other one that was outstanding with Jerquaden Guilford, that Ohio State felt like it was in good position. He announced that he was going to stick with Ohio State. Mm-hmm. I don't know if the official graphic and social media post has come out from Ohio State, but I think that Ohio State will get across the finish line with that one. But they had also lost, over the last 2 days, Legend Bay. So this was not a drama-free national signing period for Ohio State. In fact, a lot more of it than was anticipated. And some of that, I think, was my fault because I said that this month was probably going to be about as smooth of a December as Ohio State could have asked for.
Not only did you not get a smooth working month, you also got it hammered on you on the personal level, too.
Yeah. My mom actually texted me this afternoon. She did not know what was going on. She said, I'm just thinking about you guys up there and hope you're staying warm and you start thinking about anything you want for Christmas gifts. And I said, well,
a new car.
I said, if you've got a hammer, could you send that to me and hit me over the head with it? And she said, never mind. I'll check back and see what you guys need for Christmas tomorrow.
I'll circle back around.
Yeah.
Seems like you're having a stressful day.
Yeah. So let's not now, Mom.
The meatloaf.
But yeah, so that's all been going on the signing front. And look, there was going to be disruption when you lose someone with Brian Hartline's reputation, chops. He's the coordinator. He's the wide receivers coach. You can understand how all of that happens. I think that is more of a long-term concern, even if Chris Henry Jr. could have been enrolling by the end of the month and playing next year. The short-term thing is balancing, as you mentioned, Beamer, 2 jobs at once. Mm-hmm. It's incredibly challenging to do that. Now, it helps that Ryan Day knows a little bit about offensive football, and if Brian Hartline needs some help getting through this stretch, whether that means calling plays, helping with game plan, I don't know, but also there is a little bit of benefit with the fact that this signing period did move up to this first week in December, that some of that stuff that keeps the CEO busy may be off of Ryan Day's plate as they get closer to the end of December and the quarterfinal game. And we'll see what all of that means, but it's a stressful time in the Woody. But the most impressive thing last night, and I know we got to go to break and the General's going to be here soon, but the players themselves, after they crossed that red line, even the coaching staff, Brian Hartline, you saw everything was normal for them. They were preparing to play Indiana, to try and win on Saturday night as if nothing was bothering them. So they were fine. It was me and Birm that were not fine.
Which at the end of the day,
that's all that matters.
It's all that matters.
Who cares about us?
Literally all that matters is that your football team is playing. They're number 1 in the country. They're undefeated. Just beat your rival for the first time in 6 years, and you're heading to Indianapolis for a Big Ten championship game. Lots happening in the Buckeye world. Carp, he's going to join us. We'll talk all about it with him coming up next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
We're the girthiest radio station in the history of radio. Uncomfortably girthy. This promo is uncomfortable. The Fan, Ohio's girth destination.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is, fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
With Steel, batteries are included. This holiday season, give a gift that's ready to go right out of the box. For everything from cleaning up the yard to cutting up firewood, Steel tools check off the wish list and knock out the to-do list. And right now, buy select battery tool sets and get a free extra battery. Visit SteelUSA.com for holiday deals and gift ideas. Happy holidays from Steel. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
Are you ready to take your business to the next level? Introducing Optimized IT, the managed services division of Modern Office Methods. With our cutting-edge managed IT services, we bring proven management strategies to the table to support your current IT team. That's not all. Our experienced team provides insight on how to maximize efficiency, helping you achieve your goals faster. Concerned about security? Our backup solutions help guarantee your data is protected around the clock, giving you peace of mind. Start at OptimizedIT.net for your free IT assessment. Stay ahead, stay secure, and stay optimized.
AgPro has been family owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a Buckeye, it's the action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce. And jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Attention Columbus. Town Properties just clinched the title of the largest residential property manager in Columbus, thanks to the Columbus Business Journal. With pride, we oversee 25,000 plus households in the Columbus metro area, ensuring fantastic places to call home. Whether you're on the hunt for an exceptional living space, a top-notch association management company, or a property manager for your multifamily portfolio, visit our website at town-properties.com and let us elevate your living experience. Town Properties, always managing great places to live.
It's playoff time. Who will the Buckeyes play? Where will they play? Let's find out together. Join Tom Tabiri, Timmy Hall, Nicole Sheeran, and Dean Sanzenbacher for Chasing the Championship.
Sunday at noon on 10 TV Plus and the Fans YouTube.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium, presented by Experience Columbus. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offer a variety of options and pricing. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour. Ohio Stadium Tours, presented by Experience Columbus.
Paul Keels here, voice of the Ohio State Buckeyes. You have to check out the brand new AAA Buckeyes MVP membership. Get all the benefits of AAA, such as 24/7 roadside assistance, plus chances to win tickets to Buckeye sporting events, access to exclusive MVP experiences, along with 10% off gear at the Ohio State team shop. Already a AAA member? Add the Buckeye MVP membership upgrade for free. Head to AAA.com/Buckeyes to join the squad and put your fandom in drive.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Plenty of sunshine out there, but breezy and cold on this Thursday. Temperatures in the upper 20s. Overnight, we'll drop back down to around 10 degrees, single digits in the outlying areas with clear skies and light winds. Through the day on Friday, plenty of sunshine back up to around 30 degrees. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
Are we drinking the scarlet and gray Kool-Aid? You bet we are. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
Birm, he's going to join us around 6:30. Right now, we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Comrex hotline. Check with our guy. He is Bobby Carpenter. Carp, what's happening? How's everything going in the Buckeye world right now? Austin, I'm trying to talk him off a ledge.
Talk him off a ledge about what?
I'm stressed out, Bob.
About what?
Life gets in the way.
Well, life happens. That's real. But are you stressed out about the Buckeyes?
No, I'm not. I'm not. I feel good about that, Bob. I mean, it's not ideal timing, but this is. You can weigh in on this. Segment's not about me. It's about you. This is going to continue to happen as Ohio State wins. They're going to lose coaches. That's part of life here.
Oregon's losing both coordinators.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that they're having to deal with and work through, and that's going to be. Part of it. And I know part of it is, Brian Hartline's recruiting prowess at the wide receiver position. There isn't anything, I've been doing radio, I've been trying to check. There isn't anything final on the Chris Henry front. Is there yet?
There is not. Jeremy Birmingham is reporting, a.k.a. the Birm.
Negative Birm.
He believes, after talking with some people at Ohio State today, that Chris Henry Jr. is likely to sign with Oregon. But the paperwork is not official.
They just lost both their coordinators.
Well, maybe there's something else at play there.
Yeah, but they didn't lose Uncle Phil. So
yeah, that's true. Facts.
He's still alive, and I've heard that he wants, from people that I know that were involved, that know the representation and everything going on, that, I think with Hartline, the one thing you could always get, Austin, is you maybe get a little bit of a discount.
Yeah.
And there was that comfortability and security that you could get, and if not, then it's a highest bidder situation. And while Ohio State does well, it's not maybe quite as deep as Oregon. And what's interesting about that is the question becomes, Ohio State is probably the most valuable asset that Nike possesses, entity-wise. And I'm curious, because you're kind of battling against your own guys over there with this. And, that's something that I wonder if there's conversations that will be had regarding that, because I love the fact that Ohio State's a Nike school, but, I mean, if that's what you're dealing with and that's what they're doing, I mean, you could probably barter a better deal somewhere else, and you wouldn't have to deal, with people that, you're directly competing with.
What do you think that would look like, Bob, on the open market? I forget exactly what the Penn State Adidas deal was, right? Like, they just signed one. I know that Tennessee's moving to Adidas here in a couple of years, but I would have to think that it would be the largest brand deal in college football history if they were to move at some point.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Ohio State and Notre Dame would probably be the two. Just the amount of apparel that you're going to sell, and all the branding that's going to go, and then the visibility that comes with it when you see the Ohio State's number one team in the country, and they're all over national television all the time. And while, Fox and the Big Ten agreement might not be doing them any favors this year of putting them in the most advantageous times, and maybe the schedule is as well with the bottom end of the Big Ten.
Right.
They're still one of the most visible and probably the most recognizable brand in the country. So yeah, that would be massive.
Bob, when you look at this, and we have touched on this obviously with Brian Hartline and the recruiting impact, and I was told yesterday there's not going to be any rush for Ryan Day for Ohio State to make this hire to replace him. It feels to me, I wonder what you're thinking, that Keenan Bailey would be the obvious and maybe easy choice to slide over to wide receiver, and then that allows you to make another outside big-time hire as an offensive coordinator. Is there somebody – there's actually multiple somebodies I think that are available with NFL experience right now that could be really good fits and attractive for Ohio State. If you could pick one right now, which direction would you go?
That's interesting. Do you go outside and get, the big-time wide receivers coach? And part of it is, too, like Tyler Bowen has called plays as well.
Yeah.
So you could figure out how to kind of work that internally, I think, is going to be really interesting. I think, Ryan Day always talks about, being a subject matter expert, being the best at your position in the country. And is it easier to maybe find that wide receivers coach that can recruit and develop at a high level like Hartline, or is it easier to slide Keenan Bailey, who was his right-hand man for all those years? And the other thing is, Keenan Bailey's done a really good job with the tight ends.
Yeah,
so
good job.
Do you want to, try to throw a wrench ultimately into that? And I know you're talking about, Chip Kelly potentially being available. Who else would you be alluding to, Austin, that could be out there?
I think that there is a possibility of interest for Brian Dable.
Ooh.
I don't know how reciprocal that would be, but I think that there could be communication between, him and Matt Patricia, that you could talk about, their time together, what it's like working at Ohio State. And I think what's interesting about him, and I'm not suggesting this as like a prediction, I'm just talking about reasonable candidates. He's also got some time there. He spent 1 year at Alabama and won a national championship with Nick Saban. There's also the Saban level influence, I think, that's working for Ryan Day right now. And
Ryan Day School of Rehabilitation now?
I think that if the mid-2010s belong to the Nick Saban School for misguided coaches, then Ryan Day can open that for the mid-2020s. I think that that's a very real possibility. So I think it's
Dayball's telling Ryan, I want to be your Lane Kiffin. Is that what it is?
I hope he doesn't say that because Lane Kiffin actually had to be replaced by Nick Saban in the build-up to a national championship game. But I think the other part that is intriguing to me about
by another guy who was on the replacement program with Sark. It's pretty remarkable.
There was quite a train of coaches pulling into that. That was like platform 9 3/4 heading in there for Nick Saban there. But Brian Dable has also had some pretty good success with tight ends. So I felt like, again, I'm just piecing the puzzle together, and it's I don't expect any hire to be made imminently. But if I'm talking about like ideal candidate for Ohio State and what they're building here and how that would fit together in that room, I'd put him near the top of that list.
Yeah, and the NFL experience is always nice when, now you're selling guys on the package of getting to the NFL, getting guys to the NFL, developing them there, getting the exposure, the experience, and then obviously there's the compensation piece that comes while you're at Ohio State too. So there's a multitude of factors that obviously are going to be into play. I don't think either one of those would be bad. I know we looked at Chip before because there was the trust factor and how well him and Ryan, knew each other and just their relationship. But before that, he had brought in Bill O'Brien, who I don't think he knew a ton of before. A guy who was also
he only needed 1 week in school.
Yes, and he was a quick study, but he was also at the Nick Saban school as well. So
he enrolled with both Nick Saban and Ryan Day.
Yes, so you could dayball. He could be going there. Back to the Masters program and see how that works. Or maybe the advanced rope course.
Yep.
As you try to figure this all out. But yeah, I think that's something that they're going to figure out. But like you said, it's not imminent. And I know that everybody, it's amazing that the focus has been, the receivers, this and that and everything, and Hartline leaving, and the world is imploding. You're playing for a chance to have the number 1 overall seed.
Yep.
And the number 1 overall seed does matter. And Ryan addressed this because obviously with the seeding of who you're playing, but also should you win your first round game, then you get to select the location, whether it be in Atlanta or in
Phoenix.
And if you're going to potentially play an SEC team, it would be much more advantageous to play them in Phoenix. If you have to play Texas Tech, then you could choose to potentially play them obviously in the East, in the Peach Bowl in Atlanta, which would be closer proximity-wise here. And so that, just having that home field advantage, I think, does matter significantly. So this game on Saturday does matter, and Ohio State still has all of the players. Everybody is healthy. Everybody's good to go. And instead of worrying about championships 3, 4, and 5, let's try to secure number 2 first.
Yeah, I think it's so funny, Bob, and I'm with you that the world stopped spinning, and all we've been talking about here in Columbus for the last 5 years is how Ohio State couldn't beat Michigan. They did that, and then we jumped to something else entirely, 2 days removed after it happened. Before we get you out of here, what are you most looking forward to Saturday evening in Indianapolis as Ohio State takes on number 2 Indiana, which is only the 3rd time in Big Ten history where you have number 1 versus number 2?
I want to go to that alley of the shanking and really try to walk it and get a picture and try to really
are you like the mentalist?
Scene. The mentalist, and walk through it and imagine how it all went down, and where Mark Sanchez got stabbed, and then maybe I don't know what, Austin, you and Birm are up to. Maybe we could try to recreate it, see the weights, we'll get the lasers and see where the.
Well, you've been trying to get my shankability level up for years.
Who are you, Rust Cole?
Yeah, who wants to be, we can draw straws. Who's going to be the old surly oil truck driver?
That's Birm.
Who gets to be crazy drunk Mark Sanchez?
That's me.
That rips the shank from, but not before taking a couple blows. Which, to my knowledge, those, I guess, from people maybe that have seen it, those blows were from while the truck driver was on the ground, and since it was his own weight that was kind of forcing, because I don't think it was a very sharp shiv, if you will, to be able to get that done, and the guy wasn't all that strong. So he kind of used his own body weight it impaled him. So, yeah, I'm excited about that. But really, as long as you've got 4-17 out there, the world's your oyster on offense, and I think they're going to be able to run the ball against Indiana. And I'm curious, and I believe that this defense will be able to stop Indiana's run game. And if you can stop their run game, I think that changes the math dramatically on how good Fernando Mendoza is and how good Cooper and Serrato are. They're very talented. I think they got the 2nd most talented group of wideouts in college in the Big Ten. But if you can take away that run game, Mendoza isn't near as good. You go watch him against Old Dominion and even some against Purdue, and they were able to get it going. But there's still some flies in the ointment.
Those first 5 throws that he attempted against Purdue were dicey.
Yeah.
Hey, have fun role playing on Saturday. All right, let me know how that goes for you in the alley. All right.
It should be good. Hey, our boy Breer's going to be out there, and he's got a bunch of his college buddies, so there might be. It might not be role playing. It might be a live action.
Have a sig for me with him, will you?
Oh, we'll have one, and then we'll have one for Signetti as well. Will Howard's coming. He's going to stomp it out for us.
Garp, always appreciate the time. Have a great rest of the week. Enjoy Indy, and we'll check in again maybe next week, all right?
My pleasure. You guys have a good one.
There he goes. Bobby Carpenter with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We got a lot happening in the Buckeye world of recruiting. Role player Jeremy Birmingham, who I'm still unsure of who he is in Bob's situation, he's going to join us. We'll talk to him coming up in 2 minutes. It's the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
Technology is meant to connect us, but when organizations rely on disconnected systems and outdated platforms, it's no wonder teams struggle to move as one. Plant Moran joins your team to close the gaps between strategy and execution, and between your people and your technology. Together, we design smart roadmaps and modernize systems so you can streamline operations, access accurate insights in real time, and become AI ready. Plant Moran, your goals and tech strategy in sync.
Do you hate holiday pictures because of your teeth? What if a brand new smile was possible?
No matter what the current state of your mouth.
Welcome to Runyon Dental Group, home of the Implant and Smile Center, where gorgeous, healthy smiles become a reality.
At Runyon, we've built a team of some of the most highly trained arch and implant doctors in the entire nation. This isn't an ordinary dental practice.
We believe that everyone can have a great smile.
Including you, especially you. Your new smile is waiting at Runyon Dental Group.
Toyota-thon is on, and there's no better way to get in the spirit of the season than with a new Toyota, like the best-selling Toyota Camry. Now through January 5th, get 4.75 APR financing on remaining new 25 Camrys, or lease a new 26 Camry LE for $269 a month for 39 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details, or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
They're trained. They're prepared. Let's do it. They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource, proud to be your home for Ohio State Athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The best damn radio show in the land. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
Right now we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Checking with our great friend. He is Jeremy Birmingham. Birm, we just had Bob on in the last segment. In this role play scenario of his, are you Mark Sanchez or are you the truck driver? Because he was getting pretty descriptive with what you guys are going to do maybe this weekend in Indy.
Wow. I wasn't made aware of those plans, but
Neither were we.
Wait. Did anybody else pick a role, or do I get first choice? Because I mean, it does matter. I mean, I want to be first on the call sheet, but I also don't want to be selfish. So did somebody else pick a role?
I volunteered that you would most likely be the truck driver.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's most likely. I'm kind of into the idea of just stabbing people.
And I would be Mark Sanchez. So I thought you might want to stab me after, just a stressful week.
Yeah, has it been a stressful week? I don't know. I mean, we're all just doing the best we can out here in the world today.
Birm, what's the latest update on one Chris Henry Jr.? I think, Austin, we've gone over it a lot here in the first 30 minutes, but we want to hear it from you as to what's going on in the latest recruitment of him.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much that's really changed in the last 3 or 4 hours. There comes a point in every negotiation where you have to be willing to walk away. And I know for the average Ohio State fan, and even for especially for the fringe-worthy Ohio State fans, you don't ever want to walk away from a player who's number one ranked at his position. But Ohio State's not going to pay a high school senior more money than they paid Carnell Tate this year, and that's just the way they're going to handle their business, and whether people like it or not, that's what it is. So at some point, unless Texas or somebody else comes in with an even more over-the-top offer, I would expect that Chris Henry, by the time this evening is over, will end up being announced as a signee of the Oregon Ducks.
Is there any other paperwork that has been filed at Ohio State today, or what's going on with the rest of that wide receiver duo that did not sign?
Yeah, Jaquaden Guilford from Fort Wayne, Indiana. He is announced earlier today he will sign with Ohio State. They have a public signing / ceremony at the training facility where he works out with Dre Muhammad, who's familiar to Ohio State. He's the guy that trained Mylan Graham and Austin Mack in the last couple of years. So they're going to do a signing there. And the Buckeyes do not have, as far as I was told last time I spoke to anybody about that, about 2 hours ago, there's no concern there. And then there's obviously the chaos surrounding Legend Bay, the athlete from Dallas, whose family and him are having some very unfortunate and difficult to read about problems, considering Legend was very adamant that he wants to be at Ohio State. He doesn't turn 18 until December 24th. His mom decided that he was going to go to Tennessee, and he doesn't want to. And so today he went social media and posted that his brother had taken over his social media account and that he was going to have it not be locked out of his accounts. And that it's a really sad situation. We'll see how it plays out. From what people in that area of the country have reported, that they think Legend will be asking Tennessee to release him from his contracts and the scholarship agreements, and hoping that he can be where he wants to be, which is Columbus. So that would be a very big late flip away, reflip for Ohio State if they could make that happen. So
we got Birm with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline on the, I guess, pantheon of crazy recruiting stories that you have encountered in your career covering this, Birm. Where does this story with Legend Bay kind of rank for you in that category?
Yeah, I mean, it's not really the fact that his parents or his mother wants him to go somewhere else that's the crazy part. I mean, that happens a lot. I think there's a lot of times where families are split and a kid prefers one program and the family prefers another. It's generally speaking, what happens is that the family says, hey, this is your decision and I'm going to let you do what you want. And then they get on board to fight this hard against it. There were reports that there were questions of whether or not his mom was even going to go to the signing ceremony yesterday, and that there were some heated discussions and words between her and him, and the coaches at the school at North Forney High School in Dallas had to get in the way of, and other discussions and rumors, speculation we've heard over the weekend and about the weekend that just was, about mom going to Knoxville without him this past weekend and making agreements and deals and just stuff that you don't want to hear about, because we're supposed to be entering this new era of college football recruiting where money and the financial part of this stuff is out in the open. And now we're 5 years in, and it's more chaotic and shrouded than ever. And what you're seeing is a lot of schools around the country running into this idea of that the old way of paying players and the new way of paying players, like there's no reason you can't do them both, apparently. So it's just unfortunate. And you hope that for the kid's sake that he gets to play where he wants to play. And that Tennessee obliges, because they can't stop him if he wants to enter the transfer portal on January 2nd. So at this point, it's a PR battle that they will lose if everything that we've heard is accurate, and the tweets that were deleted from Legend are actually written by him. Tennessee can't really win the PR battle in that, because if the kid doesn't want to be there, he shouldn't have to be.
Yeah, there's no winning really for anybody involved in all that. When you look at this situation moving forward for Ohio State, when Brian Hartline is gone, put into context how successful he has been, Birm, in landing these recruits, and what also, we know the development, we know the NFL success that has followed for those guys. But I'm of the mindset that there were really good receivers before at Ohio State, and there probably will be again after Brian Hartline leaves. But the challenge that Ryan Day will be facing here as he weighs up what he needs to do with that spot at offensive coordinator and coaching wide receivers, and how much of an ace recruiting spot that needs to be.
Yeah, Brian Hartline obviously is not the first recruiter at Ohio State to bring in a first-round wide receiver. What he has done is bring them in at a clip that is unheard of. And what he's also done, especially in this NIL era, is provide Ohio State a shortcut in a way that would give them the chance to get a discount, because Ohio State, and Mark Pantoni said on Wednesday, they don't ever want to be the highest team in the NIL offer space. They don't want to be the team that is trying to break the bank. And Brian Hartline's been a nice cushion against that. You have guys, even in this cycle, I mean, this Chris Henry thing, for example, he would not be going to Oregon if Brian Henry was still, Chris Henry would not be going to Oregon if Brian Hartline was still the wide receivers coach at Ohio State, and he would not be demanding that kind of money from Ohio State if Brian Hartline were still there. So that's really going to be the challenge. The hard part for Ryan Day right now is understanding that the reputation that Brian Hartline has earned is all over the place. It's all through the NFL. It's all through college football. It's everywhere. So, Ryan Day had conversations reportedly with Chris Henry yesterday saying, hey, Ohio State's made first-round pick wide receivers before that, and it wasn't just one guy. There's the strength and conditioning program. There's the offense. There's the quarterbacks. There's everything else that go into it. But ultimately, Brian Hartline's reputation as a developer of talent has been unparalleled. And I think what I find interesting, and I mentioned this on Snap Judgments on Wednesday, and people will call it whatever they want. They can scoff at it or not. Years ago, Maryland tried this tact with Larry Johnson to say that Larry Johnson really wasn't very good at developing defensive ends. He was just good at identifying them and recruiting them. And I think that there is a fair argument to be made with Brian Hartline that his best trait is being able to spot an elite receiver and not necessarily develop an elite receiver. And if you look at the last 8 years of Brian Hartline's time at Ohio State, he's been better than anybody in the country at spotting them and recruiting them and making sure that they get to where they're going. But outside of Chris Olave, the guys who was a 3-star when he was recruited initially, there hasn't been a guy that we've seen Brian Hartline really take from nothing and turn into something, which is part of the conversation more than ever now in the NIL era as Ryan Day continues to talk about the investments that get made into these players. Like the Buckeyes cannot recruit and will not recruit 4 first-round picks at wide receiver every cycle now. That's just not realistic. So when you start to look at the way that this is trending, it's one guy. It's one guy a class. It's a Chris Henry. It's a surefire thing like that. And then you have to be able to evaluate and develop the other guys. That's why a guy like Jaquaden Guilford is so important, because he has so many of the traits that you're looking for. So I don't think that Brian Hartline will ever be able to be replaced as a recruiter at Ohio State. What he's done has been pretty remarkable. But that doesn't mean that Ohio State can't find a good receivers coach. I'm sure they will, because that's what they do.
Birm, before we get you out of here, how great was your last Saturday? Because I know you were maybe a little angsty, a little stressed on the drive in. Did you have a nice last Saturday in the month of November?
Yeah, it was great. It was one of those days, like last December 21st and this November 29th kind of felt similar, that any angst, any anxiety I had about the game going into it was alleviated quickly by things I saw on the field. And last December, it was when Tennessee decided to come out without shirts on. And Saturday, it was when Ryan Day walked on the tunnel smirking at the Michigan fans who were yelling cuss words at him. And I was like, okay, they're in trouble. They're not going to lose. Ohio State's not going to lose this game. So any anxiety I had was quickly wiped away by the first thing that happened when Ryan Day walked out of the field. So,
how are you feeling about this Saturday?
I haven't thought about it.
Okay, yeah. You've had too much to think about, too much going on.
I keep trying to get him to talk
on the role play.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you got to get into truck driver mode.
Last night we were having snap judgments, and we were having like 2 separate conversations. He's not focused on the game, and I keep trying to get him to talk about the game. He's like, no, there's recruiting. This is signing period, coaching staff. I'm not thinking about the game. I'm trying to get him one day at a time so that he's excited again by Saturday at 8 p.m.
Yeah, I think Indiana's a really good football team. I don't think if Ohio State plays their best game that Indiana can stay within 3 scores. So that's just how I feel. Now, will that require Ohio State to put the pedal to the metal and hit the gas and all that stuff that Ryan Day said? Probably. Is it likely they do that? I don't know, because they don't generally need to. But you just need to get out of this game with a 1-point win. So whatever it takes to do that, do it.
It's called NOS. Nitrous, baby.
Oh. Yeah, that. Well,
always appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping on this evening. Okay, goodbye. There he goes. Jeremy Birmingham with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Penn State was responsible for how much money?
A lot.
And contract extensions. We're going to do that in the Pulse coming up next. It's the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
Whatever you're doing right now, just know that Bo Bishop is enjoying a sip of bourbon, even if this promo is playing in the morning. No judgment.
Sweet morning drinking.
The Fan.
Get Eco.
ECO. Every kid deserves new toys at Christmas. Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
Get Eco.
ECO. Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians donate thousands of dollars to Toys for Tots each year. And this year will be our biggest donation ever.
Are you willing to buy a new toy for a little kid this Christmas?
Every Eco location in Ohio is officially a Toys for Tots drop-off location.
And every Eco plumber, electrician, and HVAC technician will be delighted to transport any new unwrapped toys that you would like to donate to Toys for Tots.
Buy a toy for a kid this Christmas,
or a bunch of new toys,
and give them to any Eco technician you happen to see.
To drop off a new unwrapped toy at the Eco location nearest you, just go to geteco.com for our street address.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Generous plumbers, Merry Christmas electricians, and buy a kid a new toy this year, HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and the multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info, or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I could not imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life. There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Vanscoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
You get up early on snow days because snowed in is not an option. The Kubota Snow lineup of compact tractors, RTVs, and versatile attachments are built to thrive in the winter. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment with 0% financing available or save up to $6,000. Now through December 31st, see us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Find your local Kubota dealer at BuckeyeKubotaDealers.com. New creamy parm pizzas are now at Donato's. A decadent new sauce on 2 delicious new pizzas. Try the crave-worthy chicken veggie parm with roasted chicken, fresh veggies, and that rich creamy parm base. Or the savory bacon spinach parm, where smoky bacon meets fresh spinach for parm pizza perfection. Craving something different? Create your own creamy parm pizza today. Donato's. Gotta love more.
When it comes to your cancer diagnosis, the choice for your care is clear.
And when you choose the James at Ohio State,
you're opting for care from a highly specialized team dedicated to treating one type of cancer, yours.
A team that studies the unique makeup of your disease to develop a personalized treatment plan.
You're choosing our region's only comprehensive cancer center designated by the National Cancer Institute.
For your cancer care, the choice is clear. The James at Ohio State.
The 2026 Buckeye Cruise for Cancer sets sail on the Silver Sea Silver Ray. It's an intimate ship with an even better experience. It's all-inclusive of beverages, shore excursions, taxes, and gratuities. Sail to bucket list ports like the Grand Turk, St. Martin, and St. Thomas, with Buckeye greats including Ryan Day, Bobby Carpenter, A.J. Hawk, the Boren Brothers, Ezekiel Elliott, Ryan Shazier, and more. Sailing from Fort Lauderdale, February 17th through the 24th. Call 614-792-6204 to book today.
T-Bone and Tybus.
Cooper Flagg. He played in Maine. He's from Maine. Yes, he is from Maine. They said the whole state.
Never even heard of somebody being from Maine.
T-Bone and Tybus Mornings on the Fan is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
It's almost Football Friday. All play and no work.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football, the Fan. It's time for the College Football Pulse on the Buckeye Show.
Sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Got the Nationwide Arena coming up here, 7 o'clock. They got the Red Wings in town tonight. Before we get into some college football stuff, let me tell you, for the first time since 2020, the Buckeyes are back in the Big Ten Championship game, and we here at the Fan have got you covered with 11 hours of pregame coverage this Saturday, 9 a.m. to noon. Tim Hall, Tyvis Powell. Noon to 2:30. Fan Sports Saturday with Reese and Tito. 2:30 to 4:30, we got the KeyBank Fan pregame show. We got Matty Ice, Dane Sonsenbacher, and one Justin Zwick. 4:30 to 6:30, You got Anthony Rothman, Tim May, Dave Biddle, 6:30 to 8 o'clock, of course. We will get you out to Indianapolis for network coverage. And then Justin and I will be on Sunday morning at some point from like 1:30 to 2:30 or 1 to 2. It's just an all-day fiesta, Austin.
What an absolute lineup. My goodness.
And if that's not enough for you, you can always like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, where I'm sure that you and Birm will have videotaped the role play in the app.
I don't know if that's confirmed or not, but we will have multiple episodes of the Austin and Birm Show ready for your viewing enjoyment whenever you see fit on 97.1 The Fan, YouTube channel, 10 TV's YouTube channel, 10 TV Plus, Apple, Spotify, Roku, anywhere you want to get the audio only. If you don't want to listen to us, we'll have 2 episodes of The Beat tomorrow. We will have a mailbag edition, thanks to your questions, at the Austin and Birm Show at gmail.com. We will have bold predictions. Saturday, we'll have pregame keys. Wow. After the game, you've got the notebook and you've got Snap Judgment.
Snappy Jace.
It's all coming. It's all happening.
Nate, what are you doing on Saturday? Everyone's working. We're like,
I'll be here. I got to do the pregame show.
Okay, so
on Saturday.
Early morning shift. I feel like we're a tour de force on Saturday.
Right, yeah.
Everyone is in here on Saturday morning, into the afternoon, into the evening. Maybe some of us are going to be here just all day.
These performances, by the way, from Tim May to do the pregame show.
I heard Murph told me about this earlier today, that Tim May's performance last week was incredible.
He's indefatigable. He made it earlier to the big house last week than he did the Purdue game. He showed up at the start of the 4th quarter in West Lafayette, and we're like, what are you doing here? I did the pregame show and then just drove over. What?
If you catch my drift.
So to speak.
He'll be with us tomorrow evening from 6 to 8. Nate, what do you got for us tonight?
Well, of course, Penn State fired one James Franklin a little earlier this year, and you would expect a coach to make a lot of money going to Penn State. Well, lots of coaches have made lots of money, just not at Penn State. Approximately $370 million worth of coaching contracts has gone out to not coach at Penn State this year.
Well, it's crazy, right? Because Justin and I were talking about this last night, and the ones that obviously come to your mind, because Penn State has been rumored to sign anybody with a pulse, and they still don't have a college football coach. They still don't have a head coach. But the first ones, let's go back in time, right? Like, they fired James Franklin very early on in the season. And if you go back to the rumor mill at that point, like when it was fresh, it was, well, can Penn State hire Matt Rule? Matt Rule, Penn State guy. Right? Like, is he going to go?
Loves Pat Kraft.
Loves Pat Kraft. That's his guy. Former roommate or something. I don't know if that's true.
Vacation buddies.
Yeah, vacation buddies. So he signs a contract extension. A week before that, Kurt Cignetti signed a massive extension with Indiana. God love them. They're undefeated, having the best season that they've ever had. We'll see what they possess on Saturday evening. And then it went to all right, Brent Key, Clark Lee, like all these different guys. Jeff Brom.
Eli Drinkwitz.
Like all these other coaches. And Kalani Sitake. That was just a recent development a couple of days ago.
Then Jeff Brom again.
And then Jeff Brom again. So $370 million, directly or indirectly responsible for in contract extensions, with everyone just being linked to the Penn State job, is a crazy number.
Now, the conspiracy theory portion of this is many of those people are agents is Jimmy Sexton, who also happened to be James Franklin's agent. And apparently, supposedly, the rumor would say he's telling everyone not to go to Penn State.
And I don't blame Jimmy Sexton for doing his job. You know, no one's blaming him. When you got into
we can blame him for some things.
Sure, we can. That's fine. But I'm not in this situation. Like, as much as you and me and Nate had fun in the summertime talking about Penn State, how they're never going to win anything, and there was too much pressure on James Franklin, you don't need to fire the guy after 5 weeks, okay? Like, he got you to a college football playoff semifinals. Now, we can argue till we're blue in the face who they played to get there, but it's a bad example. It's a bad standard to set, right? Like,
coaches don't like that.
Coaches don't like that, and especially they don't like that when Jimmy Sexton is telling them, hey, maybe you should rethink this job.
Or if you would like a raise, just wink
nicely
at Pat Kraft, and you'll get millions of dollars added to your contract wherever you are. Because I assume you're happy if you're Jeff Brom at your alma mater at Louisville, or if you're Eli Drinkwitz and you have turned Missouri into an SEC quote unquote contender. You're in and you're out. I mean, on down this list, I think Penn State has now set a record for the worst coaching search in the history of college football.
It's bad.
I never thought that. I believe it was 2017 when Tennessee and John Curry let their entire process get sabotaged by their fan base when they were about to hire Greg Schiano, and then wound up with very much worse than Greg Schiano after being turned down by a lot of other options. And now
they also had one.
Yeah,
a couple of years before that too.
All the other candidates are Tennessee.
Okay,
This is Penn State saying, "Hold my beer. I'm going to get some ice cream," and Pat Kraft is going to have the worst search of all time. So kudos to them, by the way. The Nittany Lions truly are unrivaled.
Where do you go? What do you do if you're them?
NFL. You got to grab an NFL guy at this point.
Brian Daboll, the guy who's being rumored to take the offensive coordinator job in Ohio State. Like, what?
I think the Ohio State offensive coordinator job is more appealing than being the head coach at Penn State. And then I know that I'm going to be attacked relentlessly by people from Happy Valley and Penn State fans, but that is the way a lot of coaches around this profession are viewing the Penn State job right now. It's not me saying that. That's them, all right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't shoot the messenger.
Again, it's been months. They had a head start on everybody.
That's the whole point of firing James Franklin when you did.
Saw quickly South Florida decided that they were going to hire Brian Hartline.
We can't get Colin Klein. All right, let's get Brian Hartline here immediately.
Alex Golesh is going to leave us, and then within a week, we are going to hire someone else. And Penn State, you're telling me can't hire anybody else for 2.5 months?
You grab Hugh Freeze and have him yell about your own players.
Yeah, that was bad too. I saw that today. Hugh Freeze was like, Jackson Arnold, obviously didn't go the way that him and I envisioned it, but he threw those interceptions. Like, Hugh, what are you doing, man? Like, you're just throwing your quarterback under the bus.
He's a loser, man.
Yeah. Well, he plays a lot of golf, apparently. Yeah, that was a big thing in the preseason.
I can't blame him for that. There's a lot of faults we can find with him. I'm more worried about his cell phone, not his golf game.
What time are you guys leaving tomorrow? Rumored if your car works.
I don't put that out there in the universe. Okay. Trying to leave around noon. We are aiming to get to Lucas Oil around 3 to record the extra bonus episode of The Beat with Television's Adam King. So that is the intention. I do have a rental car reserved in case it is needed, which it might be needed for Allie. Maybe we'll flip a coin to see who needs it, but we're hitting that road around lunchtime.
Have a great time tomorrow this weekend.
I will do my best.
Everybody have an awesome night. We'll be back tomorrow, 2-hour extravaganza with Tim May. Jacket's up next on The Fan.
The two most mature people working at the radio station. And that's just because they wear pants.
The pervert and the skivvies.
Rothman and Ice.